Hi, everyone. This is Orit. It is 2 o'clock. Happy Thursday. Happy May. May the 4th be with you all if you are celebrating May 4th. My name is Orit Gately, and I am the founder and educational consultant and advocate at the Advocate Corner here. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be sharing some incredible information with you on topics that so many parents have said to me, I just wish I knew this when I was starting out. And we're kind of trying to take the guesswork out of how to best advocate for your child and their needs. So if you're here with me today, please comment #live. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay. I'm happy that you're able to join us today. And so what do I do? Who do I serve? I help families who are overwhelmed and lost with the education system advocate for themselves and the learning needs of their child so that their child feels successful as a learner. It is many, many years that our kids are in school and wanting to make sure that they are performing at their peak performance, that we are partnering up with our kids' school and making sure that their goals, their education goals, their social emotional goals are being met is the most important part of what I do, and also the most important part of being a parent, right? So let's dive into today's topic. Today it's about the secret shortcut of achieving your advocacy goals in record time. And what do we do? How do we do that? Because I've heard from so many parents and I've spoken to so many parents who have said to me, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, I'm looking at these webinars, and they're taking all these great information, great pieces of advice, posting questions, and yet they still seem to not be moving forward with the advocacy goals that they have for their child. And after speaking to so many parents, it's really starting to dawn on me that parents start to meal piece things, and they're taking things from various sources and trying to put it together to do what's best for their kid. And the amount of hours and the amount of time and energy and emotional energy that's being spent is exhausting. And then I've seen so many parents who are functioning from an empty cup, trying to then function as parents in the house. And it's just too much. And too much is too much sometimes. So how can you, as a parent, create a very simple shortcut to advocating for your kid without feeling like you're constantly spinning around that wheel and being able to move forward? So some of the things that I've heard parents say is, I want a certain placement for my child. And what they need to think about when thinking about a certain placement for your child is, do you have the data to support that? Because if you're not working with the data, or you don't have the documentation or the information gathering, if you didn't go through the information gathering process to have all that information, it's really very challenging to say to a school, well, I want my kid in another placement. They're not functioning the best way they can. And as a parent, well, yeah, I need my kid in this because I know that they need either a smaller group or they need a different class setting for them to be able to function at their peak performance. Yet you don't have the evidence, meaning the data, right? Think of the lawyer that's at a loss, that's in a case and trying to prove their case. You can't prove a case if you don't have the evidence. So that's going to be your first and most important step, is how to get that information so that you have a clear vision, you have a clear understanding of how to present your child in a way that is effective for the school to then understand, oh, this is why you're asking for this information, or you're asking for a different placement for this example. The other piece that I'm realizing that a lot of parents, why they're spinning their wheels and taking the long road instead of a very quick shortcut, is that they're not realizing that there are multiple steps that need to be taken before the kid could get to the end goal. So for example, let's say a child is unable to get to school, right? You're dealing with school refusal. They're refusing to get in. They have associated such negative examples or such negative feelings towards school that they're having a hard time getting to school. Now, it's one thing to say, okay, let's just get this kid in the school. Let's do whatever we can to do that. But the parent needs to also understand that there are so many steps getting to a kid to the school. And those steps need to be hashed out at an IEP meeting or a 504 meeting or discussed at a school meeting with administration in order to set the kid up for success. And there's a lot of times where they're trying to get children into the building or into the classroom, but the steps, the minor steps, like let's say you're going from A to F, but you forgot C, D, E to get there, right? So looking at what are those other minor steps, not even minor, I don't mean by minor, but looking at what are these other steps that need to happen before the kid enters the building needs to be done and can be put into IEP and 504 meetings. So know that knowing those steps, having that game plan is going to get you to quicker place to where you want in your goals. The other piece I wanted to touch upon is how do you achieve your goals in a way that works? And how do you get the schools to listen to it, right? And have talked a lot about communication. And one of the examples that, when it comes to the communication is using the language that rings with administration. I know I've said it in the past, administrators get so many emails a day that you have to prioritize what you're reading and what you're not. And not that you're not reading it at all, but you have to really think about what do I have to address on the spot right now and what can I wait either later today or the next day or 2 days. I know this because I was an administrator myself and getting hundreds of emails a day. You have to be very careful and very conscious about what's coming through the mailbox, in the inbox. When communicating with administration, when communicating with a teacher, having certain language written out, having certain information like a parent concerns letter added to an IEP is so vital for your child's success and achieving your IEP goals in record time. When you are able to articulate effectively what it is that you want for your child and the rationale behind it, so that goes back to the data piece, and writing it down in writing in a thoughtful, non-emotional, logical manner, you're able to then access the administrator's views, not the views, but you're able to access the administrator's inbox in a way that is going to stand out from maybe how other parents write. And one of those strengths that you want to be able to have as a parent is that writing strength of how am I articulating what I want, what I need in a way that doesn't come across as, well, I hope this is something that you can do, or I would like to request this, because then it doesn't come across as assertive, right? And there's a difference between being aggressive and being assertive. Sometimes parents feel like, well, if I'm aggressive in my email, maybe they'll listen. But the fact is, it does the opposite. So how do you write your communication in a way that's assertive so that the administration's listening, they know you're serious, and you have backup evidence to support it? So that's the other piece of it, right? And then the other shortcut to achieving your advocacy goals is making sure that you get the right supports. Why? Because when you're asking different people different information, or when you're researching till God knows what time in the morning because you have this thought in your mind, or when you're at a point where you're asking 10 of your teacher friends what to do, you're going to get 10 different opinions. But when you're working with someone who can support you, who can guide you, and knows the system effectively, and maybe even has relationships with certain individuals in different districts, then you're able to get a clear, straightforward, more effective shortcut to getting your goals met. Why? Because now you have someone who's not just in your corner to support what you want, but you also have somebody who's able to walk you through a process. Not having a process, not knowing what direction you're going, and spinning your wheels is going to do just that, keep you where you are. But if you are looking to move forward, and if you are looking to see the changes and the results you want, then you need that process. You need a process that is clear, that is effective, that is concise, direct, and gets you from point A to point F without going to X, Z, Y, U, O. You don't want to touch upon those, right? Because you just want to go from A to F. So ensuring that your process works, that your process is efficient, is so vital to your success. So this is just a quick little touch up on what is some shortcuts to achieving your advocacy goals. Again, make sure you are so crystal clear on the outcomes you want. Make sure that you're not just pulling information from all over the place and trying to put it together into a process. And please make sure that you reach out to someone who can help, whether it's an advocate, a lawyer, someone who has been through the process before. Make sure that you get that information. Why? Because you want that success, right? You want to see your child get the best that they can get for their learning. And that's what we do. That's what we do here at the Advocate Corner. That's what a lot of advocates around the country do. And if you're not sure, ask the questions. I see sometimes parents are concerned about, well, what if I ask this question? How is that going to look? Who cares how it looks? This is your child, right? So get to the bottom and the root causes of what you need. Get your process aligned. Get your information accurate. Get your communication on task and on target to reach the administration. And you'll see that you're going to be able to achieve your advocacy goals in record time. And for all you know, you actually might get more than what you expect and might be able to see that there's more to the picture than what you're seeing. So thank you. Again, I like I said in my last live, that I'd like to keep it short. I want to give you information so that you can get in, get out, get what you need, and get going with your day. Because I know, just like you, busy moms, I'm a busy mom, you're a busy parent, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can for our children. So please make sure that if you'd like, you can book a call if you need, book your free breakthrough session today if you want to chat. And if anything, you want questions, you have any questions, you can ask us in the parent group. Otherwise, I hope to see you next week for our next Facebook Live. And I look forward to continuing being on this journey with you. All right. Have a great afternoon. Have a great day. And I'll see you soon.